You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 13, 2023 meeting of the Michigan City Commission on the Social Status of African American Males. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome to the regular meeting on the Michigan City Social Status of African American Male. It is December the 13th. It is noon. Can we all stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Miss Benny, if I can entertain, would you please give us a roll call?
Yes. Pastor Hurt,
Here.
Pastor Carroll,
Here.
Rodney McCormick,
Present.
Willie Millsap,
Present.
Mike Jones,
Present.
Pastor Johnson,
Here.
and Stacy Benning present. We have 7 present, and that makes quorum.
Do we have the minutes? Have everybody received a copy of the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
On the roll call,
Pastor Hurt,
yes.
Pastor Johnson,
Yes.
Pastor Carroll,
Yes.
Rodney McCormick,
Aye.
Willie Millsap,
Aye.
Mike Jones,
Aye.
Stacy Benning, aye. 7 in favor.
Treasurer report.
I
Mr.
did, I emailed everyone the November treasurer's report. We have a ending balance of $898.92.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Conley is present. With that being said, we will move to our guest speaker at this time.
Order.
Mr. Sapp.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented. Second.
On the roll call,
Pastor Hurt,
treasurer report, accept.
Pastor Johnson,
Aye.
Pastor Carroll,
Aye.
Willie Millsap,
Aye.
Mike Jones,
Aye.
Stacy Benning, aye, and Linda Conley just joined us. Linda, we have 8 in favor.
Now we go on to the guest speaker, Chief Forker from Michigan City Police Department. Thank you for coming.
Again, Steve Forker, Chief of Police, Michigan City Police Department. Again, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. Just want to give just an overview kind of our current flock system that we have been working with this year. A little bit about it. Everyone talks about flock and they just assume the cameras. We're fortunate enough to have 2 parts of the flock, which is the Falcon, which are the cameras, the license plate read cameras, and the Raven, which is the shot detection aspect of it. Both the Falcon and Raven kind of work in conjunction with each other. The Falcon, again, those are the license plate readers. Again, those essentially just give us lead information. They're no enforcement type action. So with those, essentially, right, we run our database. Those essentially run through databases as far as like IDAX, which is our statewide database for missing people, wanted individuals, stolen vehicles, stolen property. That's the statewide database for those type of entries. And then NCIC, which is the National Crime Information Center, which again, that just takes the stuff to nationwide. So again, those Falcon cameras work in conjunction with those 2 databases and other databases also for missing and exploited children. So your Amber Alerts and national disaster, stuff like that. So the Falcon cameras work in conjunction with those to give us essentially lead information. Again, it's just, if there's a stolen vehicle or something like that, it could alert on that vehicle, say, hey, it's in the area. It still has to be human verified. So those things, again, it's just a lead information to give an officer essentially a lead. We would still have to locate and confirm that information through our dispatch, which we traditionally have to do no matter what, when dealing with any type of lead information. So again, that's essentially a summary of the Falcon cameras. And again, I talked about those working in conjunction with the Raven, the shot detection. We have several square miles of Michigan City are covered by shot detection, which we found to be very beneficial. And sometimes essentially, let's say the reporting times are down minimally, or I would say are minimal now, because that information becomes directly to us, really on our mobile data terminals, and or even the app on our phone that we can through our user accounts, we can get that app on that phone, so we get those instant notifications instead of somebody calling 911. And then, you know, the dispatchers gathering that information and then relaying that to us. The Raven detection really just, it pinpoints the location of where using, I would say, essentially like a triangulation between the different listening Raven devices. They can triangulate a location, and literally we can play it back and listen to what those devices heard. So if it's one gunshot, if it's multiple gunshots, and it really drastically reduces our response time. So we're hearing those, we're getting those alerts on again, we can get it on our device, on our computers, in the office, and even in the patrol cars. So once we get one of those alerts, you know, whoever essentially is the first to receive it is calling that on the radio, which is reducing our response times. So instead of playing the telephone, right, someone calls 911, shots fired, and then again, dispatch gathering that information, we've seen upwards of almost three minutes faster response time. So again, we're excited to have that. And again, it's just a tool, right, you know, in our tool belt. We've used it in several incidences, anything from retail theft to, you know, again, shots fired, vehicle pursuits, locating stolen vehicles. These are all things that are essentially coming through Michigan City, you know. So again, otherwise, I would say previously they would have been undetected. You know, these cars that maybe just come through, you know, on some of the main thoroughfares, stolen vehicles out of town. You know, we've encountered that where they come through out of town undetected, you know, unless somebody literally is behind them running that plate. It's just automating it, it's alerting us to a stolen vehicle. Again, we have to confirm that information upon seeing it, you know. So it's not just something that we can go, oh, we just got a flock thing and it's good to go. We have to confirm that information with dispatch and with the reporting agencies and whatnot. So again, it's a great tool for our tool belt. Again, it's ever learning, right? So part of that, the Raven is, you know, is learning gunshots. It can detect the difference essentially between fireworks, glass breakage, gunshots, really any loud noises that we have. On the north end too, we have a lot of trains that are coming in and slamming together. So they're working with that and learning essentially those sounds, and they can pinpoint the difference between such. So again, it's advanced technology. It's, you know, and it's I would say it's a force multiplier for us. You know, in some cases where we haven't traditionally had suspect information, we're able to develop some suspect information and develop those leads, you know, for follow-up, you know, confirmation. So again, it's been a great tool so far. You know, again, I would say we're really starting to settle in with it now and discovering its capabilities. So again, obviously we'll continue to grow with that as we learn how to use it, you know, for our investigations and whatnot. So it's kind of just an overview of it. You know, I'd be willing to answer a few questions if there's any as well. So
Commissioner Millsap.
Yes, Chief. First of all, thank you for your service to the community, and looking forward to you still being around.
absolutely.
The equipment that you just described, the Falcon and the Raven, where and what is it installed on?
You'll see them around town. They're essentially on poles in the different areas of the community. Probably not give specifics on exactly where.
No, I'm
You'll
just
see
saying,
them
are they
around,
on poles,
yeah, they're on
stoplights? Or, you know?
They're on, some are on poles, some are on like the city, you know, street light poles and stuff like that.
Okay.
Generally, you'll see them with a solar panel.
Okay.
You see those type of devices.
And are they wired up with other communities like Portage?
Yeah, so what's the benefit of, I would say, of Flock is that it's, you know, it's essentially, right, they talk about their flock is growing, right? So they are in sync with other agencies. If we share with them, they have to share with us. So surrounding like LaPorte County, right? We have cameras through LaPorte County HIDA. which again, Michigan City doesn't own those, the county does. We share with each other, right? Obviously, we're a neighboring community. Same thing with Porter County, right? They allow us to use their information and vice versa, right? So if being on that neighboring community and whatnot, it's very beneficial and to tell what's coming and going from essentially the county limits and even just outside. So
And we've had this equipment for how long?
it was installed early this year. The approval was in 2022, and then we finally started getting it installed. The cameras were installed, I would say, early spring, like March, April, May. And then the Raven was installed probably May, June, July. So we really started kind of using it towards the end of summer. But
So it's still fairly new. Have we worked out all the bugs yet? Yeah.
it's constant, you know,
Is it?
but yeah, there's constant. I think with technology, there's always some bugs and whatnot that have to be worked out.
Mhm.
They're very easy to work with. We have like a customer service success coach essentially
Okay.
that we have direct contact with that can help us with any issues and whatnot. So
Well, it sounds like that's a good tool for you guys to have in your tool belt. So
yeah, absolutely.
thank you.
Mhm.
Commissioner Johnson.
Let me ask you a question. I think Commissioner Millsap asked the question that was on my mind.
Mhm.
How effective has it been, and will be expanded because we know we are in the Christmas season, and we're gonna have a lot of break-ins, a lot of stealing, a lot of
Yeah, generally, right, like the holiday season, we see an uptick and I would say, I won't say vehicle break-ins, I would say, people that leave their vehicles unlocked, a lot of times they get ransacked, gifts stolen and stuff like that. We tend to see an uptick in some of that stuff. Which again, this stuff will be beneficial in that where we didn't have suspects in the past where they may have just said, well, it was a gray car. In the past, well, there's a lot of gray cars out there, but now with the time frame, right? We know maybe your things were stolen at noon on the 13th. And we could search, from your particular address. If we have cameras in that area, we could search noon on the 13th, gray vehicle, and then we could populate a list of, maybe that if they crossed in front of that camera or not, so it gives us lead information that traditionally we wouldn't have. Because again, in the past, if somebody said it was a gray vehicle, well, unfortunately, right, there's a lot of gray cars out there
Yeah.
but this, with the flock, then we can generate maybe a license plate number. Well, then that license plate is specific to an individual. Right, and then that just, maybe not that individual, but at least gives us a lead to, hey, why was your car here? Right, so again, I would say we are looking probably to expand, when we talk about the flock, we have essentially, right, we've built our fence, so, around our community. So, we're looking to expand, I would say even more in depth into our Raven areas, where we have the shot detection, right? Because the cameras work well with the flock or the shot detection. So essentially now if people are in an area shooting, we want to be able to know who it is because we don't always, get that credible information, from the individuals involved.
Right.
So and again, it's just developing that lead information is going to be even more beneficial for us. So it's a great tool already. And again, we're looking forward to, to continuing to use it and to grow with it. So.
Thank you for that information.
Yeah.
Commissioner Benny.
Thanks for coming,
Yeah.
Chief. My question is, as far as the public, what type of feedback are you getting from the public as far as like privacy concerns, false positives, false negatives?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we haven't gotten a lot of negative feedback. I mean, I think it's, for the most part, it's positive. When we start talking about like false, narratives or false positives, essentially it's everything that we could do. It's all in plain sight, right? It's all, license plates are in plain view. Essentially, if a police car was behind you, I could literally run that information on my, nothing stops me from running that information if I'm in plain view of it, or getting that from the Falcon cameras. Nothing, it's just, again, it's just providing that information in a more efficient manner. Right, so all of that stuff is, plain view type stuff. So it's all in open public. So it's there to be gathered, I would say.
So with it being so new, you really haven't gotten a lot of feedback with.
Oh, again, you know, obviously, you know, people are concerned that we're using it in other manners. You know, but it's not to track people. It's not that, you know, we have our policies, procedures behind it, you know, and it can't be, you know, we have to follow the rule of it.
Right.
Otherwise it's gonna, you know, we're gonna lose it, right? We can't, we don't want to infringe on people's rights or anything like that. We want to use it in the proper manner and making sure that all of our officers are using it that way too. That's one of the benefits to it, that we can, on the back end of it, we could run those audits and see, you know, searches and whatnot. So if it's, we have to indicate a reason for a search, right? It's not just hop on there free will. You know, it's one of those mandatory boxes that has to be filled out, right? You have to give a reason for search. And then obviously everybody has a distinct login, right? So we can show who's searching what and when and what times, and they have to have that reason, you know, is the big component for that. You know, so that helps us, again, keep track of that stuff on the back end, which, you know, helps us track that stuff.
Commissioner Millsap.
I got a follow-up question to that. Chief, is there any other equipment that's out there that you feel that we should have in our community to assist the Raven and the Falcon?
So really, I mean, the next step, I would say for us eventually is real-time crime centers. So like Flock has what they call the Flock OS, which is their operating systems. So that's where you can start pulling in. Again, we don't have any here, but like if you had enforcement cameras, right? If you have just everyday business cameras, right? Public, like our park cameras, stuff like that, start putting all of that information into one database, you know, which is what they call like a Flock OS, which is our operating system, where we can pull all of that data, again, from the Flock or the Falcons, the Ravens. They have ways to connect, like I said, private businesses, camera systems, surveillance type systems, and even, like I said, you know, like public entity cameras, like the park and stuff like that. So we can just start pulling all that data into one location, right? Whereas also we can have like crime maps, it's like real-time crime maps. That's kind of like the next progression. We see that South Bend is up and running now, East Chicago, Gary, some of the departments that are obviously larger than what we are, but it's starting to, I would say, price point is starting to come down to, I would say, to our level, you know, where we can do that. And I would say the new trend in policing is having the crime analysts, you know, where they can help essentially analyze a lot of that data, current trends, calls for service, stuff like that, and start, you know, essentially not a police officer, but someone that can analyze that crime, all that different data, and develop that stuff. So that's probably the next step as far as technologies to get to that real-time crime center, or even just real-time, like in our commander's office or something like that. You know, I don't know that we're going to build a brand new huge crime center or anything like that, but you know, we have the capability to bring it really to the desktop level, you know, with that, like with the Flock OS is what it's called.
And we're working in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's nice to have all these different technologies and stuff like that, and surveillance systems, whether it's, you know, the park department or the street department or whoever, you know, we have all these beautiful parks and they have cameras in there. Well, you know, the police often are the ones that use those cameras, but are, you know, have the least access to those, you know, at least at real time.
Well,
You know,
logically.
so
that's
yeah, it would
right.
be nice, you know, if something's happening at the park, you know, that we have a more efficient way to pull that stuff up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're working in that direction.
Absolutely. You know, again, I think, you know, it's just technology has come obviously a long way, obviously since your service, right?
Right,
You know,
right. I know how that goes.
and it's, you know, it's just going to continue to grow. And I think that we have to be, you know, versed to learning it and to understanding it and how we can use it effectively.
And the prices are going down too.
Correct.
so-
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's becoming, I would say it's just being more and more common practice in policing to use that technology. So.
Good. All right, thank you.
Any other questions from any other commissioners? I see we have two commissioners online. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Fly and Commissioner Cox is present. Anyone from Zoom would like to ask questions? With that being said, Mr. Forker, I just like to say thank you. I seen you playing sports in New Buffalo to being the chief of the Michigan City Police Department. I never thought I'd see that day, and I never thought I'd be on this side
Yeah.
as a president of Mississippi Social Status either. And I'm proud of you, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to become friends and be cordial and speak to each other on a daily basis. I want to thank you for your service. It's not an easy job, but you sure made it look easy. And I just want to thank you because in the past, we have had different individuals in that position that just wasn't seeing eye to eye with the community. And I just truly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to just say thank you.
No, thank you. I think we all want the same thing, right?
Yes.
Have a good,
When you-
lovely, safe community that we all can perspire in, so.
You said something about enforcement cameras. I brought this up at the Board of Works on numerous occasions. I think you was present at one of them. It's about time for us to get enforcement cameras on this traffic violation stuff. Don't you think it's about that time?
Again, that's I would say it's somewhere in the next step, right? Indiana just passed a law, I think it was July 1st, that, now that we can use those enforcement cameras. So that's obviously something that we'll be looking into and doing, maybe, whether it's the speed cameras, the red
Right.
light type cameras.
Yes.
I just think at Cool Spring and Franklin in particularly, we see quite a bit of traffic through there, and there's a lot of red lights being run right there, and that would be a prime example of like a red light, like camera
Yeah.
enforcement would be.
Because at the Board of Works meeting, all I hear about is speeding.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I'd just like to just, again, thank you for coming and speaking. It's been awesome to see the growth, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. All right, let's get on to new business. Also, I think it's time for us to hit the ground running. This will be our last meeting for this year, and we need to look into electing new officers. We can put this off. I think that our election by bylaw starts the first of the year. I think we need to hit the ground running. I think we're gonna have at least one or two new board members, but I just want to know how you guys feel. I will not be seeking reappointment for president unless it's absolutely necessary. And I don't think it'd be absolutely necessary. I just want everybody here. I just want to get everybody's opinion. We can move forward with that today, or we can just put it off until the next meeting, and we can move forward on there. But I will encourage everyone that there needs to be people in new positions all across the board. If the current officers don't want to be holding on to these positions, and the goal is to make sure that the newcomers also get a chance to sit behind this mic and have that title as well, because everybody's input is valuable to everyone. So good or bad or indifferent, everybody needs to move forward. So I will entertain discussion on that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Cox.
Okay, how many people will be leaving the commission who are presently there? How many people will be leaving?
I know that we have an appointment for one person coming in. I don't know if that's been filled. That obviously that haven't been filled yet. There's rumor mill that I know that there might be one person leaving.
Okay,
So that might give us two. I think that might give us two.
thank you.
Yes. Mr. Millsap.
Mr. Chair, with that being said, reference to leaving and oncoming, first of the year, we will have a better picture, correct?
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay.
I hope they bring in the people and this be done with this so we can get it moving.
With that being said, I would make a motion that we wait till the first of the year to address any
You,
officers and leaving and coming individuals.
okay, yeah, you don't have to make a motion.
I second that.
Yeah, it was just discussion.
Okay,
Mr. Johnson.
I think we ought to, and I agree with Commissioner Millsap that we will kind of wait and see who is who. And from there, we can make a decision where we go from here. Because even with new people, you have to indoctrinate them to the system and to the things of what this commission do for the city. So I think we ought to wait until the first of the year to do that.
Any other discussion? from any other commissioner?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Millsap.
Piggybacking off of Mr. Johnson, our secretary, would you, at our first meeting of the year, is it possible that we can all have a listing of who is expiration is coming up?
If I may, I don't think nobody expiration is coming up. I
Some
just,
terms are expired.
they voted to make it, give everybody 2-year terms.
Right.
That was voted on by the city council, so we have that, and then I just, you serve at the mayor's pleasure, so I just think it's gonna be 2 people, I believe, but I'm not for sure. I might be wrong, but we can wait till the first of the year.
So after the first of the year, if I'm understanding what you're saying, after the first of the year, everyone has 2 years. Okay,
So,
All right.
I can get that information for you.
okay, we have that at the first meeting.
It's on our
Okay,
website.
all right, thank you.
And I will go to the city council meeting. I will speak, ask them to go ahead and try to expedite getting a person in.
At the first meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Mr.
yes, I was just reelected for I think it was another year. So which was our last meeting through Human Rights Commission. You mentioned something about 2 years.
I'm 100% positive. The city council voted on giving everybody, now there's 2-year terms.
Okay, because it was mentioned to me 1 year, so I'm just trying to get that straight.
Yes. It's already a done deal. So
Okay.
you're gonna be here for 2 years.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, we love you.
I love you too.
Yes. Any other discussion by any other commissioner? Online?
I'm good.
Seeing none, let's move on to the old business, which is about the funds to, do things with the kids and adults in our community. How would you want to address that, Mr. Hurt? The field trip.
We are looking at the day after Christmas, December 26th, to take 25 young men, teenagers, to the Chicago Bulls game. And right now, transportation is the train. And then once we get off the train at Millennium Station, we get on a bus and it takes us directly to United Center. The only issue with that is coming back after the game. There's a train returning at 9:15. And the game probably won't be over till about 9:30-ish, 9:45. So that means we have to get the 11 o'clock train that gets them back here at 1 o'clock. So we're trying to see if we can possibly get a bus that can take us all the way there and back so that we won't have that issue of, I'm sure some of the parents won't like the idea of their children coming back at 1 o'clock. So if we can get any assistance with that, we would be appreciative. I'm checking on some different options, so we'll know by end of week.
I don't know if you've done this, and I don't mind doing it as well, but have you reached out to Sue Harris, Department of Transportation for Mission Area Schools?
I talked to Marty this morning. He's gonna contact her. And so we'll know. I'm gonna see if churches also, if any of them have buses that we can maybe utilize so that we can, the time will be a whole lot better if we have bus as opposed to the train.
Pastor Hurt, let me go on record to say that if that's the case, our van will be available to take kids
We're
to.
talking about 25, 30 people though.
Well,
What size is your van? How many passengers?
it's a 16 passenger.
Good, okay.
We halfway there.
Yeah, I have a couple vehicles if we need to do something else to a van and SUV, so we're getting closer to the ballpark. That's very helpful.
Yes, it is. Thank
Very
you.
helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. You want to add anything, Ms. Benny? Or
No, I just want to thank Pastor Hurt for doing all the legwork,
yes,
getting this going. We're very close. We just need to get an official okay by the board to go ahead and pursue this. I have a field trip, once I get the rest of the transportation information, I have a field trip, and a flyer already ready to hand out to, all the individuals that are gonna be participating,
Permission slip.
the permission slip.
Yes, and one of the things that we did do, I would like to add to this, all the young people that went with us, adults went with us, to the DeSable, we invited them first.
Right.
So I think we're gonna have some seats left over that people can join us. And with that being said, Mr. Millsap.
Yes, on the December the 26th, the 25 students, have they been identified or is?
We were
it
waiting
is-
for this today so we can get the definite. I'm sure we won't have a problem with it though.
Right, adults too. Uh,
We have five adults and we have, 25. That's where we're at.
Okay, who's playing that?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Straight.
How much are the tickets?
5287 is what we ended up with.
You wanna go?
I was just getting the information out there.
We're also, we're trying to make some contacts with some individuals that are affiliated with the Bulls to see if we can get a little extra stuff in the pot for the kids. Of course, a lot of them probably have never been or maybe will never be able to go. So we want the experience to be one that's great for them, so.
Is there any other discussion from any other commissioner? I will,
Do we have to vote on this today?
yes, we will.
Do we know how much it is total?
It,
Do we know the cost?
I will tell you this, it will definitely deplete the funds that we went over to, LaPorte and received. That will end our fundage that we, went and seen. So I hope that all the commissioners will support this and we can move forward with this.
And thank you for saying that. I was gonna say the monies that we have left will expend all of that and any extras will be donated by other sources.
We will not take nothing out of our general funds.
With that being said, I'll make a motion that we authorize this trip.
Second,
So it will be authorizing the treasurer to reach out to the controller's office to.
Yeah,
get
I've
the
already
funds.
talked with the controller.
Okay, we have Mr. Johnson.
the point, I think, Pastor Hurt had a real, point. If he can get a word from the inside in Chicago, cause I know he said that he can, get some inside track to even lower the tickets or get some, incentive.
I did try to lower it, but they told me that was it.
But we're looking at
52, yeah.
extra little perks for some
Yes.
contacts that we
Yeah.
have locally. We have a ex-Bulls
Yes, we.
player that resides here. And I'll be reaching out to his wife to see if there's any extra perks that they can provide our kids.
Good.
Have that
So
motion.
on that, I'll second the motion that we'll vote.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Excuse me, Mr. Cox?
I agree.
Agree.
So
Did
we
you
have a
hear me?
motion. Yes, we heard. Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Cox. So can we have a roll call, please, Madam Secretary?
Okay, Kenny Fly,
Yes.
okay, Rodney McCormick,
Aye.
Stacy Benning,
Aye.
Linda Conway, aye. Pastor Carroll,
Aye.
Tony Cox,
Aye.
Sean Fitzpatrick, it's not here, Pastor Hurt,
Aye.
Pastor Johnson,
Aye.
Mike Jones,
Aye.
Willie Millsap,
Aye.
and Faye Moore, she's not here. So it looks like the ayes. Has it been passed? Everyone agreed?
The motion, excuse me, motion passed.
Okay.
With that being said, let's move on to subcommittee reports. We're doing good on the time right now. We will start off with education. And I like to just to get this done, we combine education and criminal justice at the same time.
Excuse me,
Mr.
Commissioner
Hurst-
McCormick.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to leave now.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'll talk to
Thank
you
you for
later.
attending.
Goodbye,
Thank
folks,
you.
and happy holidays. All right.
Same to you.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
I would like to add that my position as going to schools every day has lessened. I've been down with this upper respiratory, third round of antibiotics and steroids. And since my wife is the nurse at the school, she banned me from the school for a while. But I look forward to getting back in there because it's just exciting being with the kids. I don't have nothing to add to that.
I don't have anything else. I just want to again thank Pastor Hurt for doing all the legwork for this upcoming field trip, and we're going to coordinate so that we can get the transportation done, and hopefully within the next few days we'll have all of that secured.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hurt, Pastor Hurt. I would just say, those that went last time, if you can get those, if they're going definitely, let me know. That way we know how many additional to reach out to. But I do have a list of people, so. All right, no problem. Let's move on to health.
Thank you,
Mr.
President. 24, we'll be launching our health initiative next year, and we'll be dealing with all aspects of it because we're still in this post pandemic. COVID is still alive, and we are reaching out to new partners. We talked to Pat, which is over Salvation Army that we're going to be dealing with, and other agencies that we're going to be dealing with. And at the next meeting, you will have all the information that you need for us to do what we need to do concerning health.
Anyone like to add anything to health? All right, Mr. Millsap, your turn.
Employment, I'm reaching out to Work One to get an end of the year status report on what all happened in 2023. And I am also on the fundraising committee. And if you just heard that funds have been exhausted, so immediately following our first meeting of the year, 2024, we're going to huddle up after the meeting and get the ball rolling.
I just want to add that all of our funds are not exhausted. We at 800.
We have $898.92 of part of our general balance. The other funds were earmarked, so that's why we can't include those on just regular things.
But as we all agree, we do need the funds. So,
Right.
I'm gonna invest in lottery tickets.
if it's fund generating. So immediately following our first meeting of the year, the fundraising committee will huddle up afterwards and get the ball rolling.
Who's all on that
At
committee?
the last month's meeting, we identified the people. Secretary, did you? I know Faye and myself was 2, and Pastor was 3. And anyone else? Thank you. Anyone else?
I think
is
Pastor
welcome.
Hurt said he didn't want to be the chair, but he would be.
Right.
on it. He would like to assist any way he could.
If anybody else want to be on there, just let us know as soon as possible. So that is well noted, Mr. Millsap, that
Right.
will be in the minutes.
After
And-
the first meeting.
Yes, and then we have to do the subcommittees and then we go right. That would be probably the first one.
Exactly.
All right,
Okay.
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Millsap, I'd like to this whole commission, I would like to say to us, since we are the backbone of this community, and this is just a suggestion, at the next meeting, I think we ought to, it's not a demand, I think we ought to be the one to first contribute, let me use that word, contribute to what we are doing, because I believe if we start out and do what we need to do, then we can ask the rest of the agencies and individuals to contribute to this commission and help.
When you say we, you refer to the
The
commissioners?
commissions. It's just a suggestion.
Okay,
Not a,
which I take. With that being said, I would like to go on the record as saying in 2024, I will be donating $100 to that.
I match that.
I'll match that.
That's 300 right
We
there.
got three? Do I hear four? Got four? Do I hear five? I hear five. Do I hear six? Do I hear six? Do I hear seven?
Not the hand up.
Do I hear seven?
Somebody looking for that pattern.
Is there a seven?
So we had 700 already, right?
We'll get
With the
somebody
commitment.
another, we have to get somebody another chance.
We asked at the meeting again, first meeting of the year.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that, because we are the commission for their social status. And we ought to be the leading supporters for what we are doing in this commission. And I just thought that would be a well-rounded suggestion that we be the first one to contribute to what we are doing for the social status.
So we're going in with 600,
700.
700 first of the year,
700.
in addition to that.
And I think we just give that to the treasurer and
I'm sorry, I'm not sure how that would work. I'll touch base with the controller and see how we go about if you provide the amounts, maybe by
First meeting.
yeah, by the first meeting, maybe by check or money order. I'll check to see what's sufficient. And then that can be handed over to the controller and added to our account.
Gotcha.
let the record reflect that Pastor Hurt just dropped down 520s. That's $100. So he gave it up already.
Well, you may be able to go up to the controller's office. You may be able to go up there right now and tell them you want to donate.
They pocket reaching
Maybe
now.
they'll take it like
We
that.
got pocket reaches now. So
I'll stop by there
with
when
that
I,
being said, we go on to social factors. Ms. Conley, do you want to add anything to social factor, Ms.
I don't have anything current. I didn't get a chance to mention at the last meeting that our state convention, which was held here in Michigan City last November, was a success.
Yes.
And we got a raving review from all involved. And I wish more of us had been out there, but it was a very, very well received program.
This commission, state commission for what?
NAACP,
Okay.
their state convention was held here in Michigan City, LaPorte County.
By any chance, do anybody remember what's the social factors meeting date? It's coming up.
Thought it was, no, I don't, because they haven't given that date yet. I thought it was the 14th, which is tomorrow, but I'm not for sure. And I don't have that with me,
Okay.
but it is coming.
All right, with that being said, I'll open it up to public comment via Zoom or here in person if anybody would like to speak. Hearing that there's no one here, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Happy holiday, everyone.
Merry